We want to welcome some of our folks online who are from Florida, Nebraska. We saw Arizona. I saw some international names on there. So we have some folks that are in Asia. So we have people joining us from all over the world. So that's very exciting. So hello to all of our online friends. And thank you to everyone who is here in person. It's great to see a full room. We saw familiar faces and new faces, and we love seeing you guys. So thank you for coming. I also have the obligation of doing a disclaimer. And so, in short, we're not giving medical advice today, but you're welcome to read the whole piece of this. Everything we want to share is for informational purposes, and we want to help you and give you all the tools and information you could possibly want. But please refer to your doctors and medical professionals for any medical advice. All right, so I want to start off with giving a thank you. We're very excited this year that Baker Donelson is our sponsor of the conference. They helped cover many of the costs that are making this event free for everyone. So, Adam, thank you so much for representing your company and being here, and also as a parent. We're excited to have you and the support of Baker Donelson. And then I also want to give a thank you to Pearl Vision. We have them over here in this corner. So if you could come see them and say hello at some point, she has some free goodies and can give all sorts of information about any of your eyeglass exam and needs there. So thank you to that. We have the Family Advisory Committee. If anyone is on the Family Advisory Committee, can you raise your hand? So we have Chuck is over here in the corner. We have Wallace up front. Jennifer is up front. Brandon is here. I believe he's helping with some of the conference planning as well. I know Stephanie is online with us, and we have some other friendly faces. So thank you for planning this event. They show up every single month and meet as a group and tell us how we can make this meaningful. So thank you to them for making this a great day. All the panelists and speakers, of course, everybody here is a volunteer. And so we're appreciative of their time and their help to make this day great. And then everybody who's here today, thank you for making the truck out in the rain. We're grateful to see your faces once again. Can I have our board members raise their hand? We have some board members in the room. So thank you so much to Chuck and Kay. Dr. Drosty, you're an honorary board member for life. We have Dr. Capone and Dr. Tracy. Am I missing anyone in the back? Okay. Oh, Adam, right in front of me. So if you have any questions about our organization, if you have ideas on how we can do better and do great things in the future, please talk to those individuals. And then last, I want to thank our team. Luisa, you obviously met. Heather said hello to you as she was walking and you're all coming into the building. Monica is here in person from Philadelphia. So many of you have heard her name. She's our fundraising lead. And then Annie is our marketing individual. She's in here from Brooklyn. So we're excited to have some folks come and meet you all in person. All right, so what has the organization been up to? We've been up to a lot in the past 12 months since we saw you last time. We renewed our pilot grants. So we offered about $65,000 in pilot grants last year, and we just renewed that opportunity. So what that does is allow us to give funding to researchers here at the Pediatric Retinal Research Lab so they can get some preliminary information that will set them up to apply for NIH federal funding and grants. Sometimes you have the chicken and egg situation. You can't apply without some proof that your concept might work. But to get the funding, to get the proof, sometimes isn't easy. And so we want to make that possible. So collect the initial data, prove your concept might work, and now you have some information that you can actually request funding to advance the science research that you're doing. So we're excited to do that again. We're also just approved funding for our super student programs, or not ours, but funding for OU's super student program. So we approved for 4 students to go through the program this year to work in the lab and work along a scientist who specializes in vision sciences. We just found out, thanks to Dr. Mitten, 2 of our the super student graduates are going into eye care. And so they've decided to make that their entire career. And it's because of all the hard work and exposure and opportunity that they had to vision science that made them decide to do that for their specialty for their career. So that's very exciting. We know we're supporting the future doctors and researchers in the vision science world. We're also trying to figure out if we can fund a full-time researcher at some point. This is still very preliminary, and I can't make any wild promises just yet, but we are looking into how we can continue to advance our investment in research and grow that and make that a bigger opportunity. And then, of course, we're continuing to follow the efforts of Retinova. So many of you know that we have worked alongside Caragen with their development of Norogen and trying to support them with funding. We're continuing to follow that path and that journey and hope that they have success commercializing that therapeutic treatment for the future. So a lot of cool things happening on the research front. And then on the community side, we're, again, continuing to expand all our services on our website. We're offering new information and resources. We're growing our Through Our Eyes podcast. So there's some really exciting episodes if you haven't listened lately. One of them is The Blind Kitchen, and Luisa put a bunch of materials here from The Blind Kitchen. It's a riveting episode. It talks about all of these really amazing tools that are available to help people independently cook. There's another great one where we had people making eye patches that were exciting and special and fun for individuals who had to wear those. Dr. Capone was just featured on one of our episodes. So please check out the podcast because it's really fun, amazing, inspiring stories. We're in the process of creating a physician referral program to try to connect our doctors with patients and let people know that we're here and we're a resource for them. And then I'm excited that today we're announcing the launch of our Stronger Together mentorship program. So we want to match up people who are newly diagnosed with individuals that are further along in their journey. And so if you want to be a mentor or if you want to request a mentor, you can go to our website and there's a brief application you can fill out, and we will do our best to match up individuals and families. We know it can be lonely, it can be scary, it can be overwhelming, it can be confusing when you're going along this journey. And so if you can talk with somebody who's been in those shoes and is further along in their journey who can help you, we want to make those connections possible. So back on the table, we have some information and there's a QR code you can scan if you want to learn more about the mentorship program. And then we're also launching a community board. So Luisa had shared with us that there's a lot of people in the community that want to talk to one another in an online space, but they want it to be private. You don't necessarily want Facebook and everybody on Facebook to know all of your personal information about your diagnosis. And so we're creating a private portal that people can log on to. It's online. It's not public facing. And so you can talk to one another and have those conversations without the whole world being able to see what your journey looks like. And then I'm also excited that we are figuring out what events and opportunities from an administrative perspective work best. So you'll know our walk was moved from the fall to tomorrow. So if you're all around tomorrow and want to come back to the university, we would love to see you at the walk. We're going to be at the rec center. But as we figure out this journey and what works, we want to hear from you. So talk to Monica and Annie and myself and Luisa and let us know, do you like the events? What would you like to see? What works for timing? Give us your feedback because we're consistently trying to figure out what works best for you because that's who we're here to serve. So now I want to call attention to the fact we are going to do a live Q&A with a couple of our doctors in the room. If you have questions, you can write them down on the note cards or the index cards that you have on your table. We'll collect those. And then if you're virtually with us, you can put them in the chat and we'll curate those. So start thinking about what questions that you might want to ask.